Welcome back to another episode of the Muse Pod. And before I start, I just want to say thank you so much to those of you that have liked, subscribed, all of that stuff, because it means so much to me. When I got the idea for this podcast, it was all for you guys. So to hear that you guys are enjoying it means a lot. I have been in the modeling and creator, social media, influencer, whatever you want to call it, industry for over a decade, which is mental. And I'm not going to lie, it's a very perfect seeming space. So I want to create a space that debunked those myths, that brought in those people that you see on your phone and showed you a little bit of reality. So today I have someone who is gorgeous. She's a goddess. She is a Pilates queen. She's called Bryony Deery. I'm sure you've heard of her. And she's also a businesswoman. And she took something that she was good at and she made it into something incredible. So this is for those of you at home that want to feel inspired. And yeah, let's hear from Bryony.
Welcome to the Muse, baby.
Hello.
Thank you so
How
much
are you
for having me
today?
on. I'm so good. I am so happy to just be sitting down, to be honest, and in this cozy seat with you. So I'm really excited to be
Have
here.
you had a
Thanks.
busy day? You are
really
a boss
busy day.
bitch.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I was just saying, I feel like a bit of a frazzled mess today, but yeah,
I mean,
it's been busy.
You could never be a frazzled mess. You're like goddess.
I'm hiding it. But yeah, things are busy at the moment, but all good.
So I feel like I followed you on Instagram for a while. A lot of girls that I follow, I feel like I don't know their story.
Yes.
Like I know who you are now.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's your name? Where'd you come from? Tell me everything.
Okay, so, where do I begin? So it's actually funny because I was just doing a podcast myself and I was saying that my life has really changed in the last couple of years. So it's just mad for me to kind of be in a bit of a whirlwind at the moment. But to take you back, I grew up in England in West Sussex and was quite a shy child and didn't really know what I wanted to do. So kind of just went through, I wasn't like amazing in school, I was quite naughty, you know, a bit.
you?
Yeah.
can't
Me and my
imagine
brother were both quite naughty. So was always getting sent out and things like that.
Wow.
I know. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then but I always kind of had this, I think a lot of people say this and it's a bit of a cliche, but I did have this entrepreneurial thing always, you know, like from selling like lemonade outside or doing like car boot sales and things like that. I always loved that type of thing. And yeah, I have had every single job you can ever imagine. I've worked in a Chinese restaurant. I have worked in a pub. I've worked in makeup. I have done it all. What's that expression? Jack of all trades, master of none.
You're a master of quite a few now.
Well, at the time, there were many, many different things I tried. So yeah, and then I didn't get into Pilates until I had a car accident. So that was obviously quite a, you know, negative time and negative situation. But
How
luckily,
old were you then?
So I was 17, 18. And I was just in a country lane, had this big car accident in the middle of the night or late at night. And basically it was quite a serious accident. I had to be stretchered out of the car and had to wear a neck brace to college and things like that. It was not
That's terrifying.
a good look.
Car accidents are like my number one fear.
Oh God,
I only learned to drive
Touch
in
wood,
September. So
okay.
I'm newly on the roads and it is quite terrifying.
Yes, I mean, it obviously was like a stressy and challenging time, but luckily I then kind of got into Pilates through that way. I mean, I was in so much pain every day. I was taking tramadol. I don't know if you know that. It's a really strong painkiller. And I then, all of my doctors said, try Pilates. It's going to help you in your core.
That's good
advice. I had
advice.
so much back pain. And I wasn't supported. So yeah, I went in to try Pilates in the hospital. So it was kind of like like a rehab thing. So it was like me and all these older ladies, which was so sweet.
Aww.
But it wasn't what it is now, which is like super cool and trendy. So that was my entry into Pilates.
Wow.
But just to heal my injuries. And then I was like, oh, I'm healed now. It's fine. I'll move on. You know, when you're younger, you're like, okay, tick that off. I'm healed. I'm fine. And then
just to take you back to when you were that young, how did that affect your life? Because that's such like a pinnacle age when you're 17, 18, your friends are going out, you're going out to the bars, and
there I am in my neck brace. It was that kind of age where exactly everyone was going out, you know, you had a bit more freedom, more independence, and it was really hard. I basically kind of I actually went on a mild form of antidepressants at the time. I couldn't sleep. I was having these like panic attacks. That's when I first started getting panic attacks. So I'd never really experienced anything like that. And it kind of just all came to me from this like trauma, if you like. But yeah, it was a hard time for sure and quite alienating.
Oh my gosh, I bet, because at that age your friends are probably all having loads of fun and you're just left dealing with this huge thing that to be that young and deal with that must have been crazy.
I know. And the tiredness, like even so I was in sixth form at the time, but I just had this extreme tiredness from the painkillers. But it was funny because where my neck brace was positioned, I could just have my little naps. So
that's so handy.
I would be in these lessons.
There's always a plus with these things.
And I was just there with my little neck brace having my nap.
Did you get people to sign your neck brace?
I think I did. Yeah, at the end, it was disgusting, and all the makeup and it was gross.
The dream mat mousse.
Yes, exactly. So that was how it all kind of started. So it was kind of a bit of a negative turn to a positive.
I love those kind of stories though.
Yeah.
So when you first did Pilates, instantly did you fall in love with it? I mean, it was in a hospital with all the older ladies, so it wasn't what it is now in your glam settings. But how did you fall in love with it?
Well, to be honest, I think at that age, I was so disconnected to my body that I didn't really appreciate the practice as I do now.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you're a bit like more fickle at that age, or at least I was. And I definitely didn't see the power in it. Whereas now I just can't imagine my life without this method. And I'll kind of go into it. But Pilates comes in so many different forms, so I try and combine the classical method that has healed my injuries and my body with the fun of the contemporary style, because it is so much fun. And I think typically the two methods don't mix, and it is a little bit of a what's the word, almost like not snobby, but you just don't mix the two. But that's what I really believe in, the power of combining the two. And I just love it. I can't imagine my life without doing it every day.
Did you do it straight away as soon as you sort of healed from your injury? Did you know you were in love with it and this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach it?
No, not at all.
What
Then, as I said, I was like, okay, I'm healed now, on to the next. And then I was always active in school as well. So I always wanted to move my body in some way, but I would try anything, you know, going to the gym or whatever was cool at that time. I just did it. So it wasn't really a consistent practice. And then anytime I was going through something or maybe had like an injury, I would then always find myself going back to Pilates. So it wasn't until, so actually I taught my first group class May 21.
Wow. That's not that long ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not 18 anymore, guys.
What? You look it.
I wish. I am actually about to turn 32.
Exciting.
So, which is
I'm
so
31,
weird.
so.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So, so it wasn't until years after that I thought, actually, I can do this. I had a corporate wellness company before COVID. So I actually employed teachers.
Amazing.
So I would send them to offices and different businesses would book in with us. And then all the offices closed. So then I tried to bring that company online, and it didn't really work because offices it wasn't what they were looking for. They wanted the in-person stuff. So I thought, I actually tried, and I developed this online platform version of what we did for the corporate wellness. And I was like, I can do this. So that's when I started just going on Zoom.
That's crazy that it was
after COVID.
After COVID, because that feels like yesterday to me.
You know what? I know. It's such a blur, isn't it, that time? I can't believe that that even happened. But it wasn't until, so my mum actually got ill during COVID, and then again I found myself going back to Pilates. So I was always doing it on and off, and then I became like quite good. So I thought, okay, you know, I need to go back to what makes me feel so good. And during this,
and were you posting online then on Instagram?
No, I had no followers. No.
Wow.
Yeah. So my mum got ill, and then I was like, okay, I need to go all into my morning routine and my daily habits and make myself feel good, feel strong for her. So then that's when I kind of like went all in on everything. And then after COVID started, I just thought, okay, she actually kind of weirdly gave me this superpower where I was so shy before, so nervous, and then that happened, and I was like, nothing matters.
100%. And it always takes huge things like that are awful to make you realize the bigger perspective of life.
Completely. Like nothing really matters. Like,
it really doesn't.
This is what
just
I say.
Go for it.
Just go for it. Like you, for example, you're doing this podcast now. It's amazing. Like it's going to be a huge success. It's so exciting. You have to just put yourself out there and go for it, because if you don't, no one else is going to do it for you.
No one else can do it for you. That's a fact. And we can sit and blame things around us and
definitely
blame timings and different things. But really, the only person is you.
Yeah.
So you've got to make it happen.
Definitely.
And you made it happen.
Thank you.
So how did you go from 0 followers to now having this huge online platform and Pilates by Bryony?
Well, so I think I kind of like try and think about being as useful as possible with what I'm saying, and it is really annoying because when people say it happened organically,
it did.
You just want to punch them in the face. But
they're the best things, though.
Promise you, if you have a good product and you're passionate about what you do and you're good at what you do and you believe in it and you put the work in, it will lead to something, you know, whether it's on a smaller scale or a bigger scale. For me, my first step was teaching on Zoom. So I had 10 people on my first Zoom class.
Wow. And that was only a few years ago then?
That was May 21. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're in 24 now. I keep thinking we're in 25. 24. So yeah, it can happen so I don't want to say quickly, but it can be so powerful if you just think about putting
snowball effect.
Yes, and just moving the needle a tiny bit each day. And for me, it was doing that first Zoom class. Honestly, I've never felt nerves like that first Zoom class. Yeah. I don't get nervous now, but then you would have thought I was like going live to Wembley. And I always say like half of the 10 was probably my family members. So it is scary.
I love that though.
But I think you just have to put yourself out there, and that is my one like mission that I want people to feel. It is
that first time filming yourself though, or going live, it is scary.
Oh my god.
Like anyone that puts themselves online or out there, you underestimate what it's like until you literally put that camera in front of your face.
Yeah, and you think, oh my god, people are going to judge me, and people are going to be like, what the hell, she's a Pilates teacher now, like where has this come from? But actually to you it's normal because you've been doing it for so long, or but it's just like, you don't have to justify yourself to anyone. Like
absolutely,
the people that love you and care about you will be so supportive. And just go for it. I mean, I started with 10 people, then it started building up. So I was doing like 2 Zoom classes a week. Then I was getting 100 people every time on Zoom, and obviously making quite good money because I think I was charging maybe £15 per class. Wow. So I was getting like 100, 200 people join each week, and so it was building up. And then I was on holiday, and I said to my mum, it was October, I was like, I need to do a big January challenge, I need to think about this. And I was like, if I can get those 100 people to sign up, and it was a £200 challenge, and I had 550 people sign up.
Amazing.
So I made, to be blunt, like a hell of a lot of money in 1 month, more than I've ever earned in over the course of a few years.
I bet that gave you the insight into how this could go.
Oh my God, I was like, what the hell? I remember at one point, and it was all manual. So I was a one-man show, and I was getting these email addresses, putting them in, recording at the same time as doing the live so that I could send people the recording. It was a nightmare, and there was no link between the sign up and the email things. I had to manually enter like everyone's email.
Wow.
And all of these, and this kind of FOMO effect happened. So people were sharing that they had signed up. Then more people were like, what the hell is this Pilates by Bryony thing? I need to join. And I remember actually at one point saying to people, guys, we're 2 weeks into the challenge. Like, please stop signing up. There's no point. You're only going to get 2 weeks. People just kept going. And that's when I thought, okay, there's something in this.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
And why do you think Pilates is so incredible?
Oh, we could do like a whole podcast just on that.
Absolutely. And why is it, because everyone loves it at the minute. So what do you think are the things that make it so attractive to especially women?
Well, firstly, it helps to lower your cortisol. It's a low impact workout. And I think that appeals to women, which is great. But overall, it's just the most incredible foundation for your body, actually for your mind and your body. Pilates is so about the precision and the control and the form of each movement. If you do, I don't know, a half an hour, let's say, class, and you're focusing so much on your body, you're out of your head. So you're going into your body, and you've just realized by the end of it, you've not had those anxious thoughts or not been, hard on yourself or worrying about the next thing or where I've got to go or what's gone on. You're just present with yourself for half an hour, and it just feels so incredibly freeing. And so you have the mental benefits of it, but physically, I mean, you're preparing your body for any challenge. Like, I, in the past, have trained footballers, for example.
Wow. And
I'll train them to not just kick the ball from the leg. I tell them to kick their leg from their upper abs, from their rib cage, so they're connected. So imagine I'm trying to think of a good example. You're basically having that strong foundation which prepares you for anything, whether you're picking your kid up outside of the, sorry, that's my phone. That's all right, naughty girl. Whether you're picking your kid out of the car, lifting things, lifting shopping, you're an athlete, whether you want to get more results in the gym, Pilates will give you that. So Pilates really is for everyone. And
absolutely.
It's, because you do it, it's incredible. Any type of Pilates is incredible. And I just think, if you, for example, are like, quote unquote, a gym bro, you are going to get 10 times your results if you mix it up with your Pilates. Because I see these people in the gym and they are doing the wildest things that are just having no impact whatsoever on their body. And if they just do tiny little tweaks that they've picked up from Pilates, like, for example, crunches, I always say keep your elbows wide on a crunch. There's 0 point doing a crunch like this. I don't know.
So interesting.
So if you keep your elbows there, your whole core is engaged.
Yeah.
Or if you're, again, a gym bunny or a gym bro in the gym on the squat rack, if you're lifting from your core, you're working your core. You're stabilizing your body. You're creating that like really strong powerhouse. So that was a really long-winded answer, but I love Pilates.
Love it. I love all the videos recently of all the men doing Pilates on TikTok and stuff. Have you seen it?
Yeah,
they can't do it.
Yeah, they're all shaking. It is my favorite thing.
Why do you think women seem to be better at Pilates?
Well, firstly, I have no idea that it's become this women workout. I don't understand, because obviously yoga for some reason seems more acceptable for men to do, but actually,
isn't it strange?
Yeah, because Pilates is more strength focused, whereas you're more focused on flexibility in yoga. So I don't get that. But anyway, I am on a mission to bring Pilates to men. So that is actually one of our focuses this year. So yeah, hopefully.
Come on, men. Get
Come on,
involved.
guys. We've got this.
Don't be so scared that you're not as good as we are.
I know. Don't be scared, guys. We're welcoming here. I actually taught my videographer, Toby, and he was on the app, and he did a 20-minute, and he's super fit and healthy and everything. He did a 20-minute no equipment workout with me, and his Whoop was like flashing that he was doing intense strength training, weight training. I know.
Well, that just sums it up, doesn't it?
Exactly. So yeah.
And which is better? I know you generally do mat,
yes,
but people love reformer.
People love the reformer. Reformer's great. I think it's important to know that a lot of these studios, which are incredible, amazing businesses, amazing workouts, a lot of them, like a Megaformer, for example, is not Pilates. It's an amazing workout, and you're having an amazing workout, you're moving your body, but it's not Pilates. It's not going to give you the benefits that Pilates will. For example, if you're able to find a classical studio, you'll see such a difference. And I think that's what I'm trying to bring, because I know as well, reformer studios or studios in general are so expensive.
So expensive.
I'm shocked at the price.
Sometimes I go on Instagram and some girls, they're going every day, and I'm like, where are you
Isn't
getting
it
this money, honey?
like £40 a session?
Yeah, in London especially, it's like super expensive, and that's just one session. You
I
need
know,
more
one
than you need
session.
many sessions, obviously, to see results. So
yeah,
it just seems extortionate.
So I'm hopefully through the app bringing, you know, it to a more kind of accessible place.
Yeah, and that's what's incredible about you though as well, because you don't just get, you know, your lesson, you can go back, you can look at what you've said, you're learning from a professional.
I think the form is so important, and it's hard online to get that across, but we've got this section, the form and the master classes, and now I'm teaching a lot of guests on the app, which is so nice, because we can really focus in on the form and the little tweaks. You're like, oh, I didn't pick up on that before, and it makes such a difference. But I mean, so you've got classical and contemporary Pilates, and then you've got classical reformer and classical mat, contemporary reformer, contemporary mat. So there's so many differences there, but my method combines classical mat and contemporary mat. So for me, reformer is amazing if you want to work on your flexibility.
Gotcha.
But
you're about the strength.
I'm focusing on the strength with obviously a focus on the flexibility as well, but it's really about strength. And I think whilst I think reformer is an amazing workout, you can hide a little bit behind the springs. There's no hiding on the mat.
That's what I was going to say. I think the first time I tried reformer, I was like, this is amazing. But I think it's because I just like lying down.
Yes, yeah.
And I was just lying, I was like, this is great. This isn't hard at all. This like bouncing up and down this thing. It's like, wee.
So I think it depends on exactly. It is like that.
Whereas you can't hide on the mat.
You honestly can't. There's no way around it. But saying that, I think reformer is amazing.
Yeah. And how do you stack that content? Because obviously you need to create a lot of content for your app. How do you do it? How many videos do you do in a day? I saw today on your stories, or was it yesterday you were filming things?
Oh my gosh. So when I first launched, I had to film like 50 classes in 1 month.
Wow.
I know, it was insane. And then I was teaching as well then. So I was having like 6 clients a day.
Wow.
So there are moments where you just have to like batch record.
Yeah, is your body not tired though? Because you're obviously doing the workouts.
Yes. Well, luckily now I have a little bit more structure and routine with it. So before I was booking studio spaces, whereas now I have the office, so I can just pop in, do a workout. Yeah, which is much easier. But I mean, I'm filming probably, I do maybe 1 or 2 live classes a week at home, just in my living room, which I love. I love the lives. There's something different about the energy of a live.
Yeah, and I feel like you should never get rid of that, because that's how you begun,
never.
and you can connect to your audience
100%.
so much better.
Never get rid of that. And then just film when I can. So, you know, a few times a week, it's a lot more manageable now.
What would your advice be to someone who wants to monetize their skill? Maybe they're just beginning something, they're passionate about it, and they're looking at you like, oh my gosh, I want to do that.
Okay, so I have so many tips for this.
Love that.
So we're so lucky in the fitness industry that you can create a business so easily with very little. I mean, I started my business with literally my mat, my tripod in my tiny little flat on my kitchen floor with, I think I was using this platform called Instabook at the time, which was about £40 a month. It still exists if you want to use it. Instabook. Instabook.io, I remember. And I was using Zoom as well. So that and Zoom. And you can just put yourself on Zoom and charge and just get going. I mean, there's really no excuse, and you can make good money from this if you just put yourself out there and go for it. And also gifting your time. I gifted my time to one person always springs to mind, which is Nadine Leopold. You probably know her.
She's lovely,
just
and gorge.
I love her. She's so gorge inside and out. And
I might get her on the podcast.
You should.
She'd be really good.
She's amazing. And I taught her and I gifted my time to her, and I was so nervous, but I visualized the whole thing. Now she's one of my good friends, but I was like, she's gonna love it, and she's gonna tell me this, and she's gonna, and then after the session she was like, Bryony, you've given me abs in one class. She always says that. She's like, if I have a shoot or something, I just do one of your sessions because I know. And I'm like, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but I like,
but what
I
a
like
compliment.
it.
That's amazing.
I know. Yeah. So she was like a real big turning point for me. And I think if you're able to just reach out to a few people that have a following, I mean, this world is crazy now on social media. There's so many people out there that would love a trainer. I mean, who's going to turn that down?
100%.
So put yourself out there, message someone or message 100 people and see what sticks, and then get yourself on Zoom. And also, you really find your voice on Zoom. Sorry, I feel really funny with this microphone. I'm just getting used to it.
It's like a gun.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, I think going on Instagram, reaching out to people, do the Zoom class and find your voice on Zoom. You can't rely on your body or being there and doing the hands-on corrections. So you have to rely on your cues, and you really find what people respond to. Yeah. So you find your own little language.
Speaking of Instagram, you're now an influencer yourself, technically. So how did you find that becoming your new world as well?
Do you know what? It's so funny because I don't think I'm very good at it in that sense that I'm not very curated, or at least I don't.
You are.
Oh, thank you. But I mean, I just think don't overthink Instagram. I mean,
100%.
Firstly, I was just about to say something.
Say it.
Firstly, it's all very silly, isn't it?
Yes. It is.
I mean, we're all just having fun and doing what we can. And I am sharing what I do. If someone wants to do that, and if someone resonates with it, and if it helps someone, amazing.
Lovely.
All the other stuff doesn't matter. It's like, who cares? Just be a good person and work hard and share tips that have changed your life. Want to help people, have that desire to give back and help people through your Instagram. Don't always post about handbags and belongings and things. I think try and think about the value you're giving to your customer, I guess.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
And now you're working with brands like Dior.
Yes.
Incredible brands. How have you found that?
Oh, Dior is honestly just a dream come true. They're
gorgeous.
They are the most amazing team, and it's really like a family working with Dior. It's incredible. And I mean, there's a big announcement coming soon, which is exciting. I don't know when this comes out, but yeah, which is really, really exciting. And working with them has been incredible. And also it's amazing to think how nowadays, like, I'm a Pilates teacher. At the end of the day, I'm a Pilates teacher. My mum always makes me laugh, because if I meet someone new and I say, oh, I'm a Pilates teacher, my mum goes, you're not just a Pilates teacher, Bryony. You know, I said, well, mum, That's exactly
That's
what
your
I am.
foundation.
I
That's
am.
what you feel like you are to your foundation.
Of
But
course,
you're an entrepreneur, honey.
Yes, but at the end of the day, I teach Pilates, and that's all I care about. And
That's so nice.
yeah, and learning that, or like seeing the possibilities with that simple thing is incredible. I mean, I would never have imagined working with a brand like Dior through the Pilates, because it's not really something that has ever been done, but it's amazing that brands are now really focusing on wellness. So
yeah, because I find it with events that I get invited to, there's always wellness now linked in, and it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Because it used to just be getting drunk at events every
I
night.
know.
So when it's something cute like that, I'm like, oh, that's lovely.
Yes, it's so true. So true.
So now you are also an entrepreneur. You've got Cloud Cha.
Yes.
Matcha. I love matcha.
Oh,
I'm
do
obsessed.
you? Oh my God, we need to get you some.
Oh my God. I've got your matcha mixy
Oh my God, have
thing,
you?
but I've not tried the actual matcha, but I've got your set. It's so cute.
I love you.
But I
That's
need to try the
amazing.
matcha.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
gorgeous. And I feel like we needed a chic matcha.
I know, right?
It's such a good idea.
Oh, thank you.
So how did this happen? How did you become friends with Rochelle? Give me the story.
Okay, so I was training Rochelle. When did I start training Rochelle? Oh, maybe not.
She's got a great bod.
Oh, she's just the best. She's got a gorgeous face, gorgeous bod, gorgeous everything. So I started training her not last summer, the summer before. When was that? 22. And actually we were getting her ready for, not that she needed to get ready, she is born ready, for her renewal of her vows in Lake Como. So that's how I started training her. We had the same photographer that we were working with, Caris. You probably know Caris.
I know Caris.
So Caris
I've worked with
introduced
her for
us.
years.
Yes, she's amazing. And I went over, trained her, started training her once a week, and then she was using the app alongside that. And then we kind of started doing this mat to matcha thing where we would start on the mat, do our Pilates, and then we would have our matcha. So it was like our little ritual that we shared and loved. And then one day I was actually developing my own matcha brand, and Rochelle was wanting to do something with matcha as well. So we were like, should we just do this together? And then it just happened. So
it's the perfect combo.
Yeah. So it all kind of came about quite naturally. And
so you were developing your own matcha brand. What made you want to do that yourself in the first place then?
I love matcha. I'm a real believer in matcha. And I'm also a believer in only doing things that are truly you.
Yes.
So I've been having matcha every single morning for years. I don't drink coffee, and
I don't drink coffee either.
No.
That's why I got into matcha.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I can order now.
Exactly.
I drink tea, but you don't really order like a builder's tea.
No,
from
exactly.
Starbucks
And it
or
doesn't
from
feel
wherever.
as luxurious.
No.
But
so matcha just feels so nice, and it feels good for you, and you're just like,
it's the best.
I had one for lunch.
Did
Well,
you?
Not for lunch, at lunch. Not just my lunch.
It's the best. I love it.
What are the benefits of matcha for those that don't know?
Rochelle always laughs when we get asked this question. I'm like, right.
You're like, here we go.
Buckle up, baby. So matcha is very high in this amino acid called L-theanine. L-theanine basically calms your body. So it's amazing for anxiety, amazing for stress. So you get the caffeine boost, but with the L-theanine, and it's more sustainable. So it enters your body slower, stays longer, leaves your body slower. So with coffee, you get those spikes and crashes.
Yeah.
And then you have the knock-on effects of that, the anxiety, the afternoon slump where you need that sweet treat or whatever. You don't get that with matcha because it just levels you out. So it gives you more of a sustainable energy boost. It's also high in vitamin C, vitamin E, which is amazing for the skin. And it is for me, I used to have acne. I've been on Roaccutane twice, didn't work. Now I have 2 to 3 matchas every day. I do my skincare routine, just calm everything down, and my skin has just transformed.
Wow.
So yeah, matcha is just incredible. But it's really important to say that not all matchas are created equal. You get something called everyday matcha and ceremonial matcha. So not to name any names, but
name the names.
name and shame. In a lot of kind of your everyday cafes and chains, you will get everyday matcha. So you won't have the same health benefits in that type of a matcha, because the health benefits come from the shading process, and the color, the vibrant green color, comes from the shading process. So if you see like the matcha powder being decanted and it's a bit dull or it's a bit gray, that's not giving you what it should be. So it's kind of the equivalent of you wouldn't necessarily drink the wine that you would cook with. So that's the vibe there. But yeah, there are so many health benefits. And also, if you suffer with anxiety or stress or sleep, definitely try matcha. And even if you are still a coffee drinker, because I do think there's lots of health benefits with coffee, but if you can maybe try and swap your second coffee for a matcha, you know, try and mix it up, and try Cloudcha, guys.
Try Cloudcha. And sometimes when you first try matcha, you have to do it in the right way, because some people are like, oh my gosh, it tastes like grass. How would you recommend?
That TikTok? Matcha tastes like grass.
Yes.
Okay, so 1 teaspoon, little bit of hot water. Again, this is a bit bougie, but my kettle does 80 degrees water. It shouldn't be boiling because you're burning the flavor and the health benefits. So if you can do it slightly before, exactly. So add a bit of cold if you do have a kettle that does 80 degrees, great. And then you start whisking. Whisk like your life depends on it. Bring those bubbles to the surface.
Should we get one of the fancy wood matcha whisks?
Definitely get the wood whisks. If you can, avoid the electric whisks. The wood will give you a much better result. That is the origin of matcha making. So we'll never create an electric whisk, even though that's probably a great money maker. I just think it's completely against the heritage of matcha.
And it's a ritual, isn't it? It's so fun doing it.
I know. And you know what? You have to, so if you start seeing the bubbles form, you need to create enough bubbles to kind of cover the cup, if that makes sense. So wait until the whole cup is filled with little bubbles. Get your milk frother on the go at the same time. I use oat milk with a little bit of collagen putting into the frother. Then top it up with more hot water and then stir in your oat milk, and you are good to go.
Do you ever add honey or anything like that?
I don't add honey to...
Because I usually add honey.
Okay.
But now I'm going to do it how you do it. I'm going to copy you exactly. It sounds great.
Honestly, and if you get a good matcha, it will actually taste quite sweet. So you might notice that you don't need the honey.
Yeah, I've tried one recently as well. You get ones with like mushrooms in and stuff like that. What do you think about those?
I mean, listen, there's so many amazing products out there. The one thing I will say with that is that a lot of them just check that it's ceremonial grade that they have in there. But if you think about it, if you've only got 1 spoon of powder to put in, and there's so many other ingredients, you're getting less matcha per.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just go pure.
Go with Cloudcha. And the brand is so cute. Like when you go on Amazon and you look at all the different matches, or you're in the supermarket, they're all just a bit boring, aren't they? Yours is so pretty. And not that everything's about that in life, but I mean, look at my studio. We like cute vibes.
It would actually fit in this studio, wouldn't it? I think I'm such a homebody, and I love having all my, matcha station laid out. So yeah, it was important to us to make it accessible, but also just lovely to have in your home.
So what is next for Pilates by Bryony and Cloudcha? What's going on in the future? Give me some tea, or give me some matcha tea. Okay, so what is next? So I am launching a podcast, which will launch on the 30th. Podcast twins.
I know. I need all the tips.
So exciting.
May the 30th. And there's so much travel going on this year with one of my dream brands in particular. And I'm also really targeting the male market. We're coming in hot, guys.
Come on, boys.
But mostly the main focus for us, and it always has been, but especially now, is our community. I mean, I'm so lucky that we've got thousands of people all over the world doing the app, using the app every day. So for me, I am all about the customers. We've actually just launched this Founders Club, which is super cool. We originally said we'll just pick 20 people because I want to create this app for my customer. It's not really about me. I'm teaching the Pilates and that's what I can bring, but the challenges and the fun things that gets our customers excited, I want them to give me those ideas and for it to be for them. So this Founders Club is our most engaged subscribers, and it's kind of like a bit of a focus group.
That's so nice, because you're giving back to them, aren't you, as well?
It's the best. So we speak every day on WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp group. There's actually 40 of us now, because we had 200 people send letters applying of stories of how it's changed their life, which was just incredible. So we've opened it, we doubled it, and we're doing lots of events. We've got one on Friday, a little paddle, Pilates, pizza party. So I think more about the customers and treating them like your influencers. They are your influencers.
Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to create this podcast. I wanted to create it for the audience to learn more about women in the industry and how they've done it, so they can do it too. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's more of that would just be amazing in the world. We want to share the love.
Definitely. And I think we should all just lift each other up, motivate, and really share your gatekeeping secrets. Just 100%. Tell everyone. Don't worry that there's not enough room. There's room for everyone.
There's no such thing as competition.
No.
At all. We've all got a seat at the table.
And also, I'd rather, I've made really expensive mistakes, so I'd rather other people didn't make those and I can help in some way. So community is a big focus for this year, and more adding and creating on the app, and more of the same, basically. More challenges.
Okay, my final question is, because obviously you're my muse today, you're our muse. So I want to know, who is your muse in life, either right now or in general?
Oh, there's so many muses. This is really cliche, but 100% my mum. She has taught me everything. And yeah, she was so ill during COVID, and she just taught me that mindset is everything, and you're not owed anything. You know, she used to say, I never think why me, because I would never wish it on anyone else.
Stop.
And I know. And she just had such a positive, smiley, happy attitude to it. And she just taught me resilience, confidence, calm. She's very calm, so she's my muse.
I can tell she's your muse because she sounds like you.
Oh,
she sounds
you're
lovely.
So sweet.
It's true. You can tell that you've got that from her, and you've taken it on in life.
So nice. Oh, thank you. Thanks,
we love you, Mum.
So yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Oh my God, that flew by. Thanks for having me.